Good penetration. Well, folks, I have a lot to say. I'm a little worried about the penetration on that shot. He turned into it. Alright. I'm sitting right on the edge of a thicket. It's supposed to be northwest wind, which would have been blowing right to my face. Hopefully carrying my scent out over this bowl back here. You can hear the road. That was the goal. Northwest wind this morning, supposed to be 8 to 9 miles an hour. Obviously there's no wind. It is dead calm, has been dead calm. I was running a little bit late. Despite my mother and my grandmother's best efforts to warn me on Facebook, I forgot about the time change. And woke up at 4:30, walk out to the kitchen, get coffee, and it's 5:30. So I got in, got set, right at daybreak, sunrise. I was set. This heavy fog moved in just before that. There's no wind. My thermals were pulling right down in front of me where I didn't want them to go. I thought about moving, and I thought, you know what, this is it. Just stay where you're at. Got the ag field right behind me, cornfield, standing corn on the neighboring property. They came out of that corn. Three different bucks came out of that corn running that doe. They were running all over up on this ridge top up here. I could hear them. Finally, she comes back around and starts coming right down in front of me. And it's the hook buck behind her. My target. And he came right down here. I mean, I can't believe it happened. I think she caught my scent real quick right there, and that's why she stopped and she looked at me 3 or 4 times there, and I just thought she was gonna blow out. And he was, 30 yards up the ridge. Finally, she goes that way because he started coming. He was a few steps short of my cut shooting lane I had. So I kind of had to up on my tiptoes to get over this branch right here in front of me. Which, you can practice shooting in all kinds of different positions. I've never thought about practicing up on my tiptoes. But I know I hit full draw. Everything felt good. Released. And he turned into it. I can see my arrow laying down there. For reference. It's broke off about right here. So that's 8 to 9 inches of hopeful penetration. I don't know if I got that, but it was right in the sweet spot where it's supposed to be. So I'm nervous. I almost didn't come to this spot either. There's my entry trail down there. It's our ATV trails, access trails, fork in the road, go one way, go to another stand, go this way, come to this stand. I stood there for a few, wondering which stand to go to. Alright folks, we're on the ground. Shed some layers. We're gonna go see what this area looks like. It's been 45 minutes since the shot. There's the arrow. There's where the buck was standing when I shot. She definitely got blood on her. These are the same arrows. That should be a dead deer. There's a piece of arrow. I just stuck in the ground. I just found it laying right here. This is about 25, 30 yards from where I shot. This is the first sign I found walking this trail. A little bit of blood right there. I thought I saw him standing over here for a few seconds after the shot, like he stopped here and then went. So we're just gonna ease up here real close, real slow. Oh wait, look at that. This might have been where he stopped for a second. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's some good blood right there, boys. Where'd you go from here? Still finding blood. Looks like he's headed that direction in general. But still getting some good blood. Alright, so I stopped right there, showed you guys the blood there. Keep coming, there's some blood on this little plant. Get up to this briar, there's a hair. I have to dumb this thing down a little bit. Focus. Focus. Put you on me, no focus. There's a hair right there. There's blood on this briar where he ran through. Well, folks, I am back filming with the old cell phone. It is 2:30, so I shot this deer at 8:15. I've been looking and my gut just told me he was in this corn, but I just was cutting through that corn, found the trail, and I actually jumped him earlier about 11. When I jumped that deer and it took off that way, I just backed out because I didn't know if it was him or not. Waited, came back into this corn. Take a look. We got him. Holy moly, it's a big deer. There's where the arrow went in. I didn't like it. It might have hit his shoulder blade. Definitely was a little, I mean, I wanted it there, I got it there, so not quite what I wanted. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. Holy smokes. Well, folks, what a day it turned out to be. Lost blood after about 100 yards. So somewhere around the vicinity of 10:30 or so, lost blood after about 100 yards. Searched, couldn't find any more. Walked along in the neighbor's cornfield, couldn't find any. I kept hearing something out in the cornfield though, and I was like, what is that? So I took a couple steps in the field and I heard a deer just take off, and it sounded like a bulldozer going across them rows. So I backed out, regrouped, got some help, got my uncle and a buddy, came over. They started helping me look for blood again.
We looked around. It was about 2:15. I was like, I know he's in the corn. So I went back in and went back to where that deer was, and where I jumped him, and started following that trail. Pretty easy to follow with all the corn stalks knocked over, facing east, and started finding blood, and ended up finding him right on the other property line. And he probably died somewhere around noon today. But super excited to get him. What happened with the shot was the arrow shot was a little bit high and forward, so the arrow hit off the shoulder blade and went back in and only got one lung. I never did find the rest of that arrow, but from what I could feel from, you know, examining the shot, that's what happened. Off the shoulder blade, back into one lung, and it did the trick eventually. Definitely not what I saw, what I could see on the video. I thought it was much lower, but the shot was definitely much higher. But super excited to get him. Pretty happy that I was able to get him with that old Bear Grizzly recurve, that old vintage recurve, 45 pounds. And of course using Lost Creek arrows, wood arrows that I've been shooting Lost Creek by Bill and Jody Uffman since I was 16, so at least. So a long time, 20 plus years shooting their arrows, taking deers, and never had any issues with them. But it all came together, and I'm super excited. Gotta love November. These big Ohio whitetails, man, they start moving and chasing does. So it's kind of hard to piece together what happened, because all my footage was quick, but he came in, a doe came in with 3 other bucks on her and this guy. So there were 4 bucks dogging that doe this morning. And I don't know if it'll pick up on film, but when I was filming that doe and not moving, and she had me pegged at like 10 yards, I could hear him snort wheeze at them bucks. So he was trying to run them off and come after her, and that was his last mistake. So been hunting this buck smart, hunting this buck hard this year. I love these curved G2s or G3s. That's why I nicknamed this buck the hook buck. But had a blast, super excited, and got my first deer on film. It all came together. So thanks for watching.